Hello, I'm Roshan, recording experiment 3 compiler lab. This experiment about how to process macro functions. Uh, this will be my input program. In the input, you can see every statement that starts with the hash are macro processors. Here, true will have a value 1. True is like a constant, it's like a replacement for 1. So when the program actually runs, wherever if there is a uh, usage of true in the program code, it will be replaced by 1. Here, as you can see, a equal to 2 into pi into b. Here pi will be replaced by 3.14 once macro processing is done. And for a function call, this is the function call. So now name of my function is fun. Now it will identify the definition of the uh, function name fun, and replace this statement with its definition, and also change the now this definition contains formal arguments. Now here the function call contains actual arguments. Once the function call is replaced by the function definition, the formal arguments has to be replaced by the actual arguments. So let's see how the code works. uh, what I do first is, yeah, I link the files. Once I link the files, I'll read one line at a time. So this is how I read one line using the read line function of BR object. BR object belongs to the buffer reader class. This is to buffer one line like at a time and read it together. So I do different processing for a, a line which starts with hash define and the lines which doesn't start with hash define. And if it starts with the hash define, you know there is some macro definition there. So if it is a now if I know that there is a macro definition there, I need to find out if it's a definition of a constant or a function. So I see if there is a bracket there. If there is a bracket, I know it's a macro function definition. Otherwise, it's a macro variable declaration. For a variable, I have two tables, where one table will have the uh, name of the macro constants, and the other table will have the value of like the value of every corresponding constants. Now if it is a function, what I do is I split it into three. The first half will be the function name, the second half will be the um, list of arguments, the third half will be the function definition. So I have an array called function. So this will function name column, that is fnc. Now this is a column which stores uh, function names of every macro function definitions I encounter. Now there is another table named ft, that's called function table. It has the argument list and the function definition of each corresponding to every function name. Now hmm, so I maintain tables to store function constants and function macro function definitions. Later on, when I run through the program, when I read one line at a time, let's say int a equal to let's say a equal to 2 into pi into b. When I read that line, first I see if it's a function there. If it's not a function, this is the part that will be executed. In this, I go character by character and I take token by token. And if the token I take uh, is there in the table in which I declare the macro constant declaration, that is the token is a constant and it is there in the macro table, then I replace it with the value it has. For example, I'll show you the output. In this output, this was my input, a equal to 2 into pi into b. Now pi is a macro function, macro constant, and it has a value 3.14. Now pi was replaced with 3.14 in the output. So how it is done is, each time I take a token, I compare and see if this token is present in the table I created for macro constant declaration. Now if it is there, and I replace that constant with its value. Now uh, this is how I replace it. Now if it is a function, so let's say here I have a function called, then what happens? So then this part of the program will be executed, that is by checking if it has a bracket, and if the function is not a main. So we don't want to do anything with the main function, so to avoid that, I just said not main. Now if it is a normal function call, then what I do is I need to find the name of the function. First, I find the name of the function. I get from here to the first starting bracket. Once I get it, I trim them so that I get only the name. Now with the name, I find out. I'll see if the name is there in the table I created when I saw a function macro function declaration. So if the name I encountered now is in that table I created previously, um, now my motive is to change that function call with the function definition. Now here, as you can see, there is a function declaration for the function name fun. So my motto is to change this function call with this x equal to x plus y and change the x with a and y with b. Uh, so once I find that it is present there, what I do is I split the call function call statement and I want only the argument list. Once I get only the argument list, I split the argument list, that is actual argument list, and split them using commas. Now when I split this list with commas, I get a and b, and a and b are in a array, and the name of the array is argument list array. And now not only that, previously when I encountered the macro function declaration, I did store this in a table. Now I split them also based on a comma and store them in a different array um, named function array, that is FARR. Now what I do is I compare and replace the actual arguments, the formal arguments with the actual arguments using the replace function. I just go through this array, traverse through this array each time I see a function call, and replace every formal arguments with its actual arguments. Now I just have to print the line that is and at the end of the program execution. So as you can see in my output, so this was the function definition function macro function declaration. So when it saw a function call with a similar name, it replaced it with this function definition part and also changed the formal arguments to actual arguments, and the result you get a equal to a plus b. Yep. So that is all. Thank you.